This is a KOIN 6 News breaking news alert.
Now at 6, a recovery effort paused for the night in a decades-old cold case. A Portland family who vanished 66 years ago. Now a vehicle believed to be their car discovered in the Columbia at the Cascade Locks. This is KOIN 6 News at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Din. Now all afternoon, my KOIN 6 co-anchor Jeff Gianola has been taking us through every single step of this case. In fact, he was first on the scene this morning. He's also been following this case for decades. Jeff, what a big development tonight. Tell us now, what is the plan as we look ahead after you just found out some new information within the hour?
Well, Elizabeth, I'm reporting from Cascade Locks, and this is where a diver named Archo Mayo found what appears to be the Martin's car, a car that vanished 66 years ago, a family of 5, here at Cascade Locks submerged in the water. The problem is that car is encased in mud and debris. About an hour ago, they called off the recovery effort tonight because the divers had extended their time. They're only allowed to be down there for a certain number of hours, and that had expired. Plus, it was starting to get dark. So this recovery effort is going to continue tomorrow. They have hooked onto the car. They're trying to tug it up. The problem is they don't want that car to fall apart as it comes up, because that could compromise any evidence that's inside that car. I want to talk about the Martins, and I have a snapshot here. This was taken in 1954, about 4 years before the Martins disappeared. They went for a Sunday drive on December 7th, 1958, and were never heard or seen from again. Ken Martin was the father, 54 years old. His wife, Barbara, 48 years old. They had 3 daughters. Barbie, who was almost 15 years old. Susie, who was the youngest at 11, and Virginia, who was 13 years old, and then older son Don, who was in his 20s. He was living back east when the family disappeared. He was in the Navy, and he was somewhat estranged from the family. Here's a look at the car that they were driving in. It was a tan 1954 Ford station wagon with red trim around the windows, and there's the Martin's license plate number. And the diver, Archer Mayo, who dove this, actually has pictures of part of the plate, and that's why the Hood River Sheriff says they do believe this is the car. This is video now from Archer Mayo when he went diving. Pretty incredible. He says this is a very dangerous dive. He has searched for the Martin's car for the past 7 years. He saw my documentary back in 2008, and he was inspired to find this car. He looked at old historical photographs, and he figured the Martins have to be here at Cascade Locks. This is where their car ended up on that day. A little bit ago, we did talk to the Hood River Sheriff, Matt English, and this is what he said about calling off tonight's recovery effort.
We are treating this as a criminal investigation. We don't know why this happened, and we're talking about human lives that were lost regardless of how long ago it was. So it's really important that we maintain the integrity of this investigation from beginning to end.